This is a test between the Esbit stove and my homemade stove. I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of the starfruit fondue fuel, and I'm going to compare both stoves. So I've added the fuel into both stoves. I'm going to light them and I'm going to start the stopwatch. Okay, and they're both running. And we're going to turn out the lights and you're going to see the flames. The Esbit, the jets seem to be going, and the homemade stove, the jets are just coming up now. So it means that the fuel's vaporized. And if you look at the flames, the flame of the homemade stove is much higher. And you can really see the jets pumping out the flames. It's been 1 minute since they're running. If you just look at the flames here, this flame is almost a foot high. It's licking up a foot high. This flame is maybe coming up 6 or 8, 7 inches. So you can see the homemade stove is really pumping out a lot more heat. That's why it does a faster boil. Coming up on 2 minutes. It looks as if the Esbit stove, looks as if it's a lot more like the jets. Looks like they're a lot more harmonized. They're more integrated here. It's very discreet. The jets are very discreet, and it's probably because the holes are not evenly spaced. So we're at 3 minutes. So it looks as if now both stoves, the flames are almost same right now, the same height. So I think the homemade stove is running out of fuel. It's used up the fuel, or it's getting close to using up the fuel. So we're at 4 minutes. So 2 tablespoons in the homemade stove burns for about 4 minutes. Seeing the flame is dying down now in the homemade stove. After about 4 minutes. So at 4:30, 4 minutes, 30 seconds, the homemade stove ran out of its juice. And the Esbit stove is still going. I think because it's burning the fuel a little bit more efficient. Although the flame's coming down now, so looks as if it's running out of fuel as well. But you can see it's a nice blue, clean flame. So we're at 5 minutes. And there the Esbit stove looks as if it's running out of fuel. So it looks as if the Esbit stove is maybe 1 minute. You're getting more fuel burn. It's at 5:30 now. 5 minutes 30 seconds. Five minutes 45 seconds. Six minutes. And it's almost out. So there it's out. It's 6 minutes, about 10 seconds. So it's about a minute 50 seconds, a minute to 40 seconds longer than the homemade stove. So now I'm going to run the stoves with just plain alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So same amount of fuel, 2 tablespoons in each stove. You can see it's taken a while for the jets to come on with the alcohol. So after about a minute, the jets are going on the Esbit stove. But notice the orange flame. It's not a blue flame anymore. So they've been running for about 2 minutes now, and you can see it's a very yellow flame. It doesn't look as if it's a dirty flame. It looks like a dirty flame. And again, the homemade stove, the flames are a lot higher. So it's been almost 5 minutes, and the homemade stove is just running out of fuel. So that's about 30 seconds longer than the fondue fuel. So the alcohol looks like it burns a little bit longer than the fondue fuel. So it's been 6:15, and the alcohol stove is just finally dying out. So about 6:30. So again, the Esbit stove runs a little bit longer than the homemade stove. But the alcohol looks like if it burns longer, but it looks as if it's a dirtier burn. So I've loaded up the stoves now with a tablespoon of methyl hydrate, and we'll see how that burns. Both stoves are lit. So the jets are going already after about 22 seconds for the Esbit stove. And the jets are just coming online for the homemade stove after about 35 seconds or so. And again, you're seeing a higher flame with the homemade stove, but looks like the flame is more blue. A little bit of yellow, but it's definitely looks like it's a cleaner flame. So this is definitely burning. I think it's burning hotter than the flames are bigger than the alcohol. And it's about the same as the fondue fuel. So I just checked the fondue fuel, and it says it contains methanol. So the fondue fuel is running methanol. So after about 3 minutes, the homemade stove, the flame's starting to come down a little bit, sputtering a little bit, so I think it's probably near the end. And we're at 4 minutes, and it looks as if the homemade stove's running out of fuel. And there it's dead, so it's about, it's roughly about 4 minutes, so it burns about 30 seconds less than the methanol, the fondue fuel. And the Esbit stove is also running out, so the methyl hydrate looks as if it burns a lot faster. And it's only 4 minutes 30 seconds, and the Esbit looks as if it's running out of fuel. So there, it's done. It's at 5 minutes. So there you have it.